All that no ram. We back with another video. I go by the name of Stealth the Producer. We got Dope Boy Bush. And today we are continuing our preview of every single NBA team. And we are going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets today. All right. But before we get to that, if this is your first time to our channel, please hit that sub button, like, comment, you know what I'm saying, subscribe, do all that. And if you were listening on the podcast, please like the pod and check out our other content, man. I think you're gonna like what you hear, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna hit y'all with this good basketball content all year round, and we are starting right now in the preseason with all these NBA team previews. So Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, I don't even know where to start at.
The Brooklyn Nets did not make the playoffs last season. They won 26 games and lost 56 games. And this roster did not get much better. In fact, I feel they regressed. They traded Cam Johnson to the Denver Nuggets for Michael Porter Jr. So Michael Porter Jr. is, goes from NBA champion to now he's probably on one of the worst teams in the NBA. He's on the Brooklyn Nets. Terrence Mann, who you guys may remember being a Clipper for many years, he got traded to the Hawks. And now he is a member of the Brooklyn Nets. He is in Brooklyn now. You have Nick Claxton, who was still there, I believe. Is he still there?
Nick Claxton.
Yeah, Nick Claxton is still there. Probably the best player on this team is Cam Thomas, 6'3", explosive guard who can score, get hot, you know what I'm saying, from the field. And, I think he's looking to have a big year, big opportunity for him to kind of just score points. The team's going to need it. And when you're on a bad team like that, that's kind of what you want to do. This is going to be like his audition years to go to a good team. He's going to be one of those guys to where like there's going to be a good team that's going to want to like pick him up, like in a year or two. Like, okay, like y'all ain't winning nothing. All right, give us Cam Thomas. You know what I mean? And he could be a difference maker depending on what team it is. Like say like just randomly, like say like if he just goes to, I don't know, Milwaukee, he plays with Giannis. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like, maybe not be a championship contender, but he makes the team better. You know what I mean? So, but you got Cam Thomas and a whole bunch of young guys. They have 6 rookies on this roster right now.
Sure do.
And yeah, like Zaire Williams, he was a member of the Memphis Grizzlies. He is now on there as well. What are your thoughts on this Brooklyn Nets team, man? Just fire off.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. For me, man, Jody Fernandez, bro.
I feel bad for Jody. I feel bad.
Yeah, I definitely feel bad
because he don't got nothing to work with.
He has nothing to work with, and I feel like they're trying to set him up for a failure at this point. He pretty much got rid of a lot of good players that were on that team at one point throughout the last, I want to say, couple years or so. I just don't see this team winning anything over 30 games this year. It would be lucky if they get 30. I feel like. When you look at this roster, I just don't. You got a bunch of role players who are not starters or who are not starters. I would say that they're not superstars. You got Terrence Mann, who's been a good solidified guard that's been a journeyman so far. He's had good years out here in LA with the Clippers. I don't know why they gave him up, but they ended up doing that. Stayed 1 year with, I think, was it 1 year with the Hawks? And they didn't retain him or 1 year. Didn't retain him. Michael Porter Jr. Oh God, man. You go from playing with Jokic, bruh, to playing with 6 rookies, like you said, and a bunch of journeymen.
Yeah, and I feel like that was his doing. I feel like the Nuggets wanted to continue to build with him. He wasn't showing improvement. You know what I mean? He wasn't getting better. And maybe he has the back issues. Maybe it was a little bit of that. Maybe he couldn't move how he wanted to move, because in high school, when you look at his highlights, he was going bonkers. But ever since he got to the league, it hasn't really looked like that. But he would hit the spot up 3, he would rebound, but. And I mean, and maybe it's hard playing with Jokic and kind of getting off and showcasing a wide range of your talent. But we'll see what he could do in Brooklyn.
I mean, this is his team. I feel like him being in Brooklyn. I feel like
him and Cam Thomas. It's going to be
Cam Thomas. Yeah, Yes, I feel like that too as well.
Third,
So,
Nick
and I
Claxton.
seen that, and yeah, and I
That's
seen
like
that
their
he had
three.
averaged 18 points last year. So this year, you're gonna have to go ahead and at least put up 20, 22, 23 a game, Porter.
Can he
If you're not hurt.
can he do that?
I mean, when you look at this team, I mean, who else outside of Cam Johnson do you have that's gonna go ahead and be able to score? You know what I'm saying? I know we
Mm,
talked about Cam, Cam being there,
mhm.
I, I don't know, man. I'm looking at this roster. I'm not
Not
impressed
seeing
by
it,
it. So
huh?
you're gonna have to have him at least average 22 or 23 points a game, man. I mean, you didn't get much from Nick Claxton last year. He only averaged 10,
Mm,
10 and 7. I'm looking here. I think what Cam averaged 24 points
24.
as a
Mhm,
point.
mhm.
Yeah, as a shooting guard. So Porter, this is your year. I mean, if you really want to go ahead and leave and not be on that Brooklyn team, or unless you're just satisfied with being in New York and you know not winning meaningful games, be my guest.
Well,
But
you mentioned him needing to average about 20. Cam Johnson averaged almost 19 before he got traded.
yes,
So
before
you
you got
got to kind
traded,
of match that or better,
yeah, or better
to in order to kind of replace that production, right?
productivity. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and they
yeah. I just I don't see much.
yeah, there's not much here. Maybe they're just trying to rebuild, trying to get gain some assets as far as draft picks. But as far as winning anything, nah, they're not gonna. I don't think the Nets are gonna be doing too much this NBA season. That should
No,
pretty much
not
be
at
an
all.
easy win for everybody. When you got Brooklyn on your schedule, you're probably licking your chops because
Yeah,
that's not a deep team.
no.
There's a lot of holes there, not a lot of talent, extremely young,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't see playing for them at all, even in the Eastern
Oh
Conference.
no, not at all. Not one bit. No, no, not one bit, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Nah, they might be, back in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Pick.
Oh yeah, they're
I,
gonna
I
be,
just,
yeah.
I just don't, I don't see them making any noise. I would be lightweight shocked if they do have a over 500 winning percentage by the
Oh
time
no, no, hell
the
no.
year's out. I would
Mm-mm,
be shocked.
mm-mm,
That's what I say. I don't think so neither.
mm-mm.
It would be shocking. But this team right here, nothing stands out about them. That all, once you go past those three players, bro, two players,
It
it's
ain't
terrible.
it ain't nothing there.
It's not.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of frustrating nights and empty seats in Brooklyn.
Whew. Empty seats, losses. You know what
Yes.
I mean? And like I said, if you when you see Brooklyn on that schedule, you're like, oh, okay.
It's a
Let's
win.
go.
Let's
Let's
get
go.
it. Yeah,
Let's get this
exactly.
dub. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the Brooklyn Nets. Not much there, and we're gonna see. The only interest I have in them is to see if they like make a trade to try to improve, or if they just get rid of, just clean house and just completely tank. And just try to like
Yeah.
to start over, because again they have 6 rookies on this roster right now. It's presently constructed. Um, and
So I mean, who at that point, who are you trying to get rid of? I mean,
Cam
you just
Thomas,
got Terrence.
Nick Claxton,
Okay,
like just
okay.
guys, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe just get
So,
some
Mike, do you
picks.
think does Michael Porter stay the whole year, or do you think he's getting
Maybe
traded
not.
out by the time the deadline comes to as well?
I think right now they're looking. This is, to me, this roster looks like a team that is looking to gain and get draft
Draft
picks.
capital.
Yeah, draft
Okay.
capital, because that's the only way they're going to rebuild. I don't see anybody coming there. Ain't bro? When you think about this team from a few years ago,
That's what I
Kyrie,
said.
Durant,
They
Steve
had boys.
Nash,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
and it's just like,
Yes.
wow. And even after that, you didn't have a bad team. You had like Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, you had Claxton,
Yes.
you had Cam Thomas, you had Cam, and
Thomas.
it's just
Yes.
like, damn, like they just like, whoo.
I don't. It's crazy to think about that because when you thought about the move from New Jersey to Brooklyn, you thought that okay, we're in the heart of New York, we're in Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be able to get some of these big time free agents to want to come sign here in New York.
Mm.
Because it's a major market, it's wide open at this point,
I
and
think that major market's
now
just dead. We could talk. We can have a
you think
whole.
so too as well.
We could talk
Yeah,
about that on the like
like
make that
yeah,
our
definitely,
own its own topic. But I think that major
right,
market shit is dead in NBA. I don't think that's
yeah.
a factor anymore.
Anymore, got you. Yeah, and like I said, I don't think they're going to be able to attract and I could be wrong. I don't think they're going to be able to attract a big name star to want to come play there or want to be traded there. You know, I think I heard at one point that Brooklyn was looking at getting Giannis at one point. It's like, bro, he's going from one team that's not really good to another team who is just terrible right now on paperwork.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like nah. You know, so I don't know what to expect, man. I'll be shocked if they go ahead and get anything more than 30 games, bro. That's my opinion.
The Brooklyn Nets, it's going to be a rough season. You know what I'm saying? We really don't see too much for them. Like I said, the only interest I have is to see how they rebuild this roster in this franchise. Hopefully don't, lastly, what I'll say, I hope they don't get rid of Jordy Fernandez. I think he's a really good coach.
He is.
And give him a shot, like build with him. You know what I'm saying? Kind of go through this rough patch with him, but don't just fire the guy, because what expectations can you really have for this team? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, if you're the
and that's why, and that's the reason why I said, what I said. I felt bad at the very beginning when I said it.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Jordy Fernandez because he's a good coach. He just does not have the right pieces around him in order for him to show off his true coaching style and skills. And we don't need a popcorn type team. Like, we need it instantly. So since you're not producing right now, we're gonna go ahead and let you go. I hope they don't do it. I hope they go ahead and
that's
fight
one
through
thing I
this with
don't
them
like
and let
about
him- let him build.
the upper management front offices. Like, bro, like when you have a team like this, what do you expect?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you
Exactly.
expect? So, Brooklyn Nets, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much our preview for them. Again, like, comment, subscribe, like the pod, add it to your favorites, check us out on all your podcast outlets, and we will get back at y'all real soon with another video as we continue this NBA preview of each NBA team. Still the producer, Dope Boy Bush. We out of here. Let's go.
Yay.